Hello friends, my name is Emile and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lap Classic. This time we are taking a look at the 1990 Toyota Supra 2.5 GT Twin Turbo R. This car was requested by Juracer and it is our first Toyota Supra that we've had around, which means we've had sort of the trifecta of Japanese fanboy sports cars now, haven't we? We've had the RX-7, the Skyline, and now we've got the Supra. Admittedly, it is the early 90s Supra. Not my favourite. I do much prefer the later, I believe it was the 4th gen, which is the later one that everyone else likes, and I like that one as well. But, you know, quite a few people do have some love for this 3rd gen Supra, and I do when it comes with this race mod, because this race mod looks amazing. It's almost Calsonic style, which is interesting, and it also has a fantastic wing. Anyways, the front engine rear-wheel drive, 443 horsepower, a pretty decent amount of torque considering the power, and a fair amount of weight, 1,300 kilograms in the Supra, making it not a particularly light car, but then again, the one thing people usually forget about the Supra is it is actually a luxury vehicle, pretty much. Anyways, this car will have 6 laps to set the fastest time it possibly can. Our current leader is a Daihatsu Sirion rally car that's at a time of a 29.420. I don't think the Supra is going to be beating that because it's, well, it's rear-wheel drive, not four-wheel drive like everything else that's in the top spots. But it could be in with a decent chance if it is controllable. Quite a weird one, this sort of Supra. I was expecting a lot more power out of this one. You know, only 443 horsepower from, I believe it was a Stage 2 turbo on this one. You know, most of these sort of Japanese sports cars have Stage 4 turbos. This one only has a Stage 2. Now, whether that's going to hurt it or not remains to be seen because, well, sure, you may think, oh, well, smaller turbo, not as much power. It actually does help it out a little bit in the controllability standings. Because if you have too big a turbo, you just have too much power and it all spins away through the rear wheels. What I'm hoping is the Toyota sort of, because it has a bit less power and a bit more weight, it might actually be a little bit more stable. So far, it's a weird one. I don't know what it is today with cars feeling heavy, or being heavy, in the case of, well, this and the SVX, but yeah. Does feel rather heavy, this vehicle, which isn't particularly amazing. It drives pretty good though. I tell you what, it probably isn't going to be as quick as, say, the RX-7 or anything like that, but it does feel a hell of a lot more controllable than those cars did. A hell of a lot more controllable. In case you're wondering, this race mod also comes in orange, which looks horrible, which is why I went for the blue. Again, the blue, I think there's a lot of blue cars in this sort of pack today. For those of you who don't know, I record these in sort of sets, so I build sets of cars, and today's set is very Japanese. So basically, up to episode 55 now, I believe it's all Japanese cars. The reason I'm doing that is just because there's the Japanese to other car ratio in this game is pretty astounding. I think it's like 3-to-1, you know, with Japanese cars. And, well, we got a lot of Japanese cars to get through, so I figured from now on, the way I build these sets are probably going to be majority Japanese. I would try to fit some more domestic cars in there. We've still got plenty of European and American cars to get through, but it's basically my attempt of not making this series as it goes on literally just the same cars over and over again, because there's many different Imprezas and all the rest of it, so I don't want to do numerous versions of the same car in all one sitting, basically. So yeah, you'll probably see most of these contain 6 to 8 Japanese cars and then about 5 to 3 American and so on, and we're going to spin. I don't think that would have been a quicker lap. Supra pretty... It's a hard one for me, this one, because I actually like the way this car drives. It's a really good driving car. It's just too heavy. It is just too heavy. which is a shame. The problem it's got is basically to make up for its weight, it would need more power, and it doesn't have more power, so yeah. Quite disappointing, to be honest with you. A 33.238 does actually mean it will go on the lower end of our leaderboard, but just how low down? Let's take a look and find out. Onto the board then, and the Toyota Supra 2.5 GT Twin Turbo R goes into 41st place with a 33.238, a pretty disappointing time, considering it is a little bit quicker than Daihatsu moved the Mini 1.3 and the Toyota Corolla, losing out to the Toyota Renault, Aston Martin DB7 and MGF. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Hot Lap Classic. If you have cards you'd like to request for the series, you can do so in the comment section below, and go into the description for a full request list form. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, farewell.